think our fourth live on YouTube, and the topic of discussion for today will be kebabs. Number one, we're gonna make some kebabs, so gotta heat up the grill, and we're gonna talk about family. Family. What's more important than family? Honestly, to me, nothing is more important than my family. Nothing is more important to me than my children and their mother, and protecting them and being a good father. Oh, the lights have gone out. Let me see if I can get the lights to come back on. Hello, thanks for joining me. And the topic of discussion today is family justice. Please feel free to make a comment if you're following our story and you know what's going on, and you know that we're on a crusade here. This is a movement to educate Americans and arm them with the truth so they can be ready when their doorbell rings and CPS is there knocking to take their children away, without cause, emergency, or due process of law. This can happen to any of you. I know it happened to me, and weaponized allegations against me, hearsay, was enough. It was enough to rip my family apart and take my children away. I hope it doesn't happen to anyone else. And I'm over here looking for ways to expose corruption and drag it into the light. I can't do it by myself. I need everybody's support. And I need everybody to help. I need everyone to really stand by me, because government overreach and corruption that impacts the family impacts all of us. You know, what's more important to us than our family? When they take your liberties away from you without cause, emergency, or due process of law, what's more important than your children? You know, we got our kids back on the 5-day hearing, and we've beaten them in court twice already. Most families are not so lucky. They get their kids taken and trafficked into a foster health system that's very profitable, and they're abused. They're in the cycle of abuse. Anybody who's been through the foster care system, they know that, you know, when you come out the other side of it, you're not normally a well-adjusted person. You're stuck in the system. Thank you, everybody, for coming in. I appreciate you joining me. It's nice to meet everyone. But trim that chin. You know, my Emily loves it. My baby's mommy loves it, you know, and she wants me to grow it out even more. It was actually kind of big and wild, like it was puffing out, and it was too much. So I cleaned it up so it's not so puffy. Um, but no, I hear where you're coming from. A lot of people have a problem with it. A lot of people they don't think it looks clean enough. It's not relatable enough. But this is me, you know, and I'm not looking to change myself up just to be more relatable to everybody. Um, I'm here to fight for everyone's family, not just my own, because this cause is way bigger than myself. You know, we won our cases, and by all rights, we should just pull away and, file our federal lawsuit and get our, um, satisfaction that way. But we need to arm Americans with the truth, because the truth is CPS and DSS have way too much power. The reality of it is that they can come and rip families apart with only an affidavit signed by a social services employee. That's all it takes. All it takes is a social services employee who opens up an investigation based off of hearsay allegations from people who don't like you. Let's say you have an ex-wife or ex-girlfriend doesn't like you, you don't want to be with her anymore. You go and you're with somebody else now, and so she goes and she talks to, you know, CPS, or she has her therapist, her child's play therapist, she pays the therapist to go talk to CPS. They can come and take children from your other marriage away without emergency, cause, process of law. This is crazy. I mean, like, nobody believes it. Nobody thinks it's true. No, nobody thinks it's real. Dude, we in Germany have problems, not you. Yeah, I mean, I believe that families should come first. I believe that families have a greater right to their own children than the government. And it's the biggest crime against humanity when the government comes and tells a family what to do with their kids. You know, like, everybody's different. Everybody has a different religion, belief system, and discipline. You know, some families are very free and open and they don't have any discipline in their home. Other families, they may have a very strict regimen and discipline. And who is the government to say what's right and wrong? Every family has their own way of raising their family. You know? I got the grill going right now, everybody. I know we live, but I got the grill happening right now. How can it be worse than having your kids taken by the state? Thank you, Denisa. I'm not going to give up. And it's not just about my kids anymore. It's not just about my children anymore. It's about all of the families who suffer in silence. All the parents who didn't get their kids back. All the children who are stuck in foster hell in the foster network and they want to come home, but they cannot. You know, like, a lot of times CPS and DSS takes children from a, you know, maybe not a great situation to a very, very bad situation. You know, I don't believe in the good intentions of most foster parents when you have an 83% failure rate. When you have 83% of these kids who go into foster care coming out with sexual abuse or physical abuse. Did you guys hear about the $4 billion settlement in LA County? Just like 2 days ago? Why isn't that headline news all over the country? Nice to meet everybody. I'm not Muslim, so salam alaikum, but I'm not Muslim. I'm not a super religious person. I believe Christ was a good example to follow. I believe that being good is a good unto itself. I believe that the reward for being good is in this world. If I'm a good person that's reliable, dependable, and I'm on time, then people want to work with me. People want to give me contracts. People want to be my friend. The reward for being good is in this world. You don't need a higher power to believe that. But I do believe in God. I believe in God because of intelligent design. I'm an engineer, and I believe there's things that we just cannot understand. Do you believe in Dookie? I do believe in Dookie. Amen to that, brother. Nice to meet you, Witch Doctor. Tracy. Hey, loves, how is the baby girl? She's doing fantastic, actually. Thank you, Tracy. Thanks for asking. Sometimes, that's gross. I broke up with her on the spot, but that's okay. It can happen to anyone. Thank you, Tashkona. Small. Thank you. Thank you, Denisa. I appreciate that. Hello, everyone, and hello. Stop it, thank you. Nah, you a cop. I'm not a cop. I'm definitely not a police officer, but there's good and bad in every field, and the thing is that their job, like, I could never do their job. I could never do that job. To like boss people around and like you couldn't pay me enough money to do that job. You know, I don't have that in me. Oh, USC. I am not a CIA agent. I'm not. Everything is okay. I mean, the topic of today's conversation is family first, family justice. And when I say family first, what do I mean by that? I believe the family has a greater right to their children than the government does. And what that means is a greater right to teach moral values, a greater right to raise them up and bring them up the way that we see fit. You know, I don't think it's appropriate for the government to step in and say, "Hey, we know better than this family." You know, not every family is super educated, but they still have a right to their children. They still have a right to their children. You know, CPS and DSS is out here destroying functional homes of healthy American families while they neglect and decline to investigate real cases of abuse and neglect. The state starts sex education in preschool. It's sickness. It's sickness that they want to teach, the sexual stuff to our children. Principles and values should be solely the domain of the parents at home. Here's the grill. Let me go ahead and make sure that it's ready. It's nice and hot. We're gonna put these chicken kebabs on the grill. Let me see. Thank you very much, Nick. Exactly. But I'm taken. I'm very happily with a woman that I love. Exactly. My ex-girlfriend had no right accusing my daughter of heinous things and have her sent off just because she disagrees with gender identity. I personally believe that I don't want to get into politics and stuff, but that whole gender ideology nonsense to me is never made sense. It's never made sense. It's psychological stuff, and it's not. I mean, it's not based in scientific reality. To me, like there's two genders, male and female. It's sexual, and that's all there is. Everything else to me is just pretend. And people, I mean, look, I lost half the people right there, and that's fine. But that's my belief system. Like I truly believe that we need to really respect nature. We need to respect God. We need to respect God's role in our life because we don't know better than God. God created all of us perfect. God created you and your children perfect. Okay? You don't get to pick your gender. God did. And now you got to live with it. You got to make the best of the cards God gave you. That's it. Like when people say you don't accept my gender, it's like you didn't accept the gender God gave you. Like that's the reality of it. And we can't be fighting science. We can't be fighting God. We can't be fighting nature. I look for truth in nature. For me, all the truth we're looking for is in nature. God created nature, right? So natural law is the law of God. If we go along with natural law and go along with nature and what nature intended for us, believe me, we're going to be happier people. We're going to get further down that river, right? Life is like a stream. Nature is like a stream. It flows. If you flow along with the water, you're going to get further down the river. It's going to be easier. You're going to have an easier go of it. If you're fighting the stream of nature, if you're like fighting nature, like you were born a male and you're pretending you're female, you're not only not going to get anywhere, you're going to get exhausted, you're going to be tired, or you're going to feel like the world is against you, and you're going to be miserable for it. And you're going to think it's everybody else's fault for not accepting you because you're fucking crazy. Oh, I love everybody, though. I love everybody. Oh, my wife is saying I need to put these kebabs on the grill right here. Look, check this out. Oh, yes, yes, time to put the kebabs on the grill. All right, so we're putting these kebabs on the grill, just like that. This is chicken kebab. That was a lamb kebab. That was beef kebab. Beef kebab. Chicken kebab. You guys like chicken kebabs? You guys? This is chicken kebabs. Let's see what we got here. Majority of people share that viewpoint. Just that they are. Man, it's gonna be so good once it's ready. I taught Emily good, you know, like I taught her well how to make these kebabs exactly the way I like them. We're big meat eaters in this house. We eat a lot of meat. You see, like this is right here, beef steak kebab, kebab. This got a rooster. Yeah, we do. We got a rooster. Yes, we do. I'm stuck from watching one of your reviews. I see. Thanks for stopping in, Tracy. It's always good to see you. You always have great comments, and I appreciate you coming in. Please come back anytime. Anytime. I just want to get the word out to everybody, you know? Like, I think it's important to educate Americans on what happened to our family. Because it can happen to you. It can happen to any of you. And if you think it can, think again. You know, look at us. We're law-abiding, normal Americans. And we're a functional American home. We love each other. And, you know, of course we have our problems. No one's perfect. You know, we got our ups and downs. And we can always do better. But our children live in a wonderful home, full of love, lots of resources. They have a greenhouse, they have a rooster, they have hens and ducks, they have a chicken coop and run, they have a duck pond and tons of backyard, they have a hot tub and lots of love in the house. They have a mom and dad that would do anything to protect them and love them beyond measure. I think it's important to understand that there are actual kids that are out there that are abused, that are in difficult and neglectful situations, that live in squalor, that have bruises on them, and they need to be investigated. And CPS is out here ripping apart functional homes while neglecting and declining to investigate real cases of abuse. Do you have to explain anything? It's sick. The shit they do innocent families. It is. I mean, they rip American families apart with taxpayer dollars. That's the heartbreak of it, right? It's so hard to put together and cobble together a family and a home, and here comes the government, ready to destroy everything and take your kids away. And if you're too poor to fight them, they're just going to rip your kids away and destroy your home. Without a crime, without evidence, without emergency, due process. You saw how they came to my house and rang my doorbell. Imagine if that was you. An ex has gone and weaponized them with, you know, They're play therapists, and they're very serious about their shameful allegations. Well, what did my new wife do? What did that baby do? You know, that's just not right. It's not right that the government can overreach that much to rip a breastfeeding infant away from its innocent mother based on hearsay allegations that have been proven wrong over and over and over again in court. That's crazy shit. I've seen people punch a 2-year-old in the face in front of other people, and mandatory reporters did nothing. You know, that's insane. I mean, I've heard stories, Amy. I've heard stories that blow my mind at this point. You know, to me, the foster network is a hellscape of abuse for children. You know, and especially little ones that don't have a voice to speak. They can't tell you they were squeezed too hard, or that their diaper wasn't changed fast enough, or that they weren't burped fast enough, or they hurt and they cried a lot. You know, my heart breaks for babies. My heart breaks for people's kids that are stuck in foster care. You know, I'm not saying that all foster parents are bad, you know, bar none. You know, some of them are good, but when you have a functional, healthy American home, you know, who's going to love that baby more than its own parents? Now, in the cases of actual neglect and abuse, it's evident. There is an emergency. There is a crime. There is evidence. You can take pictures of it. You know, like there's evidence that something is going on. And that's when you act. It's not hearsay. It's actual evidence. It's not, well, so-and-so said such and such about him, so we don't know. Maybe he's a bad guy. He deserves to have his kids taken away. Are you kidding me? Are you serious? You can't take people's kids away because so-and-so said such and such about him without a crime or a conviction or an emergency. Give me a fucking break. Let me see. You're a great dad, husband, and soldier. And these people are ignorant. Thank you, Tracy. I don't pay attention to the trolls. You know, like I'm out here fighting for everybody's families, not just my own. And that's the thing. You know, when people realize out here that I'm actually out here fighting for all Americans' families. Liberty. You know, DSS is out here collecting information on everybody illegally and then weaponizing it to take your babies away from you. You know? Like, this, what matters more than this right here? What matters more than this right here? This is everything. You know, and they want to come take it from you, and it can happen to you as well. Don't think it just happened to us. Look, we are a healthy, functioning American family. There's American families that are a lot worse off than us. And if they can do it to us, you know, we're bringing a reckoning to them in court. And you all better stand with us because I'm fighting for all your families, not just my own. We would love to contact you ASAP regarding Kelly Hendrick and the likes of her corrupt behavior. Send an email through your site. Hope to hear from you soon. Definitely, Sarah. Please, I really want to get in touch with. I want to get in touch with other people who are passionate about our cause, and really want to be a part of this movement because I need help. You know, people who have been touched by this, people who are very passionate about liberty, people who are passionate about family and protecting our rights to our children. What's more important than our family and our children? You can reach me at my email address is certusverna@gmail. I've changed my channel to A4FJ because I just opened up this nonprofit NGO that's called Alliance for Family Justice. And its mission is to put families first in America. Its mission is to impress upon the government that American families have more right to their children than the government does. Whoa, he scared himself. You see, look at that. I was like, what the heck is going on here? Mama, do you want to take the baby? I gotta flip these I gotta flip these kebabs.
I got it.
Yeah. Hold on, guys, let me flip the kebabs. Mama, do you want to talk to everybody to answer their questions? Say hello, my name is Emily. Don't be awkward about it.
I'm an awkward person. I prefer to hide in the shadows.
It's okay, Mommy. Everybody loves
Yeah,
you.
you're good. Oh, Daddy, she's giving everybody a smile.
Oh, she's a smiley girl.
She may puke too. She just ate.
She's adorable. That's the light of my life. That's my sunshine right there, everybody.
Yeah, yeah. You guys say hi.
CPS wants to take my sunshine away.
I know she's so perfect. Yeah.
Mama, you made great kebabs over here, by the way.
I did.
Yes, you certainly did. They stick in a little bit, but they look great.
That's good.
They look really good.
She's giving some funny faces.
She's the star of the show. You know, everybody wants to see her more than they want to see me, that's for sure. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
put the beautiful, you see, that's why they wanted to take her. She's so beautiful. You see that? That's why they wanted her. She's so perfect. Now you understand? Now you guys understand what's going on over here? This is a sick government. This is a sick government. You guys be careful. Lock up your kids. They coming. They coming for your kids, everybody. Thank you so much, Amy. I'm just reading everybody's comments. CPS needs to leave you all alone. Thank you, Casually Unfiltered. Appreciate that. And you know, they won't. They won't because they won't admit wrongdoing. That's the thing about them, right? So once they open up an investigation on you, they never close that investigation because they believe they're right. They believe that they're infallible like God, right? They can't imagine that they collected all of this, you know, evidence from people who dislike you and are talking bad about you in an illegal way, and it's unconstitutional, and it's defamation. It destroys your reputation, your ability to be with your children, your family, and you know, like, this is real damage that they're causing Americans and, you know, American homes, and it's gone unpunished for a long time. You know, like this Title IV bullshit and, you know, the family court system that protects CPS and DSS needs to be looked at long and hard, because just because, you know, young parents are struggling and don't have the ability to advocate and defend themselves like, you know, lawyers that are, you know, that are judges and have jurisprudence, doesn't mean they don't have a right to their children. Those are their kids, especially if they're not in neglectful homes, especially if they're in good homes that are functional. It blows my mind that more Americans don't have their eyes open to see that this can happen to them. That they can come and take your children out of your home on nothing but an affidavit from a social services employee. That's a loophole in the law that needs to be closed. We're not going to stop until no more children are pulled out of the home without real evidence.
And then we'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Without real evidence. Wow, we have so many comments. I've seen a mom get arrested for a year and then once released from jail, forced to take a class. She didn't complete everything in time and they permanently rehoused her kids. You see this? Like they make you jump through these hoops to see your kids, which makes you feel like a criminal and makes you look like a criminal in front of your children. That's the narrative, right? They're trying to push that narrative that you are not fit to be with your children. They're trying to push that narrative on your children. They're trying to push that narrative on the courts. And we were able to prove them wrong twice so far. Most people are not so lucky. And the more I talk to people, the more I realize that, you know, we are a rare case. That most people don't get their kids back. And that we really have to band together and support one another if we're ever going to hope for a change. If we're ever going to hope to change this system, reform this system, then we all have to hang together. We have to support one another because My family is up against the government.
Yeah.
We can't do this alone.
I don't sleep right anymore at all. I don't.
Tell them about it, Mommy.
I'm not one that gets traumatized by really anything. And I watch some really scary things on TV and I don't get nightmares. Yeah?
Can you come here for a moment?
In a minute. And I don't sleep right.
She's very jumpy. She,
I don't like that doorbell
whenever
anymore.
the doorbell rings, she jumps at it. She wakes up in the middle of the night, checks to see if the babies are there.
Frantically, too.
Um,
I wake up crying a lot. I feel like I'm reliving it. It's ridiculous.
See, I know about it because she wakes me up too. And so we both look for the babies. And
Luckily, this one is in a bassinet right beside us. But my daughter's in a room down the hall.
Beautiful girl. Oh, Mama, she got a little bit of spit up right
What do you call it? Cheese?
there. Beautiful.
And it's in your beard now, too.
That's okay. It's like lotion. Hold on.
So I have her over the towel, so at least it doesn't get on your hot tub cover. Yeah, I'm not one that likes to be in the public's eye at all. So this has definitely broken our privacy of our home.
We have to show them that Emily is a good mother. You know.
Well, I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about CPS. CPS broke that.
Yeah, they definitely shattered the peace and tranquility and love and happiness of our home. You know,
Well, they didn't break the love. They just broke the peace.
they tried to. I mean, they tried to turn Emily against me.
Yeah.
They offered her many things to like turn against me.
They offered me my
this is
own
this is
housing, my own. They'd get me a job. They'd get me childcare. They would set me up.
That's
And then they would tell me that I would get the kids back if I were to leave him. But I told them, I was like, there's nothing to leave because there's nothing bad going on. I was like, they try to deem me as an unprotected mother, but in reality, I'm the most
That's
protected.
a retaliatory move, right? So now they're just suing Emily. Emily, can you please go bring a plate and some bread as well? Thank you. We need to get the kebabs off. The kebabs are almost ready. So they have appealed the case against just Emily, who is a great mother. She is a loving mother, and she's licensed to provide daycare by the state. She's been a daycare provider for 2 decades, and she's cared for dozens and dozens of children. And now they're trying to say that all of a sudden she's unfit to care for her own children. This is serious government overreach and retaliation, and women oftentimes they are ripped apart from they are separated from their man and made to turn on their man because they know that the man is the woman's armor, and if they can get her by herself, that they can take advantage of her and take her children away from her anyway. And that's exactly what they do. They make false promises to a woman to leave her marital situation because it's abusive in their eye. They want to rip that family apart so they can take advantage of that woman. Once they have the woman by herself, now she doesn't have the resources of the man, and she's turned him against her. And now she's easily taken advantage of. And that's the thing, like we shouldn't be taxpayers shouldn't be funding this type of family destruction. The principle of family first, the principle of family supremacy to the state. Really, families are superior to the state when it comes to raising their own children in the way that they see fit. And we need to uphold this principle. You got stuck on the door?
Yeah.
People are commenting, and I'm not even saying. She winked at us. Babies have the right to drink mama's milk. Absolutely, Sam. You stood your ground, and it angers them. It still angers them. Doing the right thing, but there's safety in the light, so that's why we came out into the light. But in addition to that, Americans have a right to know. We're trying to educate and arm Americans with the truth so they can be prepared when their doorbell rings. We need to address these systemic problems that CPS can actually rip families apart like this using taxpayer dollars. And I'm trying to call everybody, including Donald Trump, out to take a look at our situation. Mother of five. I want to hear more about it, Heather. Please, everyone who has a story to share, contact me, reach me on my Instagram, reach me on my Gmail, which is sertusverna@gmail. I want to hear your stories. I want to feature them on our podcast, especially if you have stories where you've beaten CPS or if you've been trafficked by CPS. Um, you know, uh, they take children out of functional homes and they put them into worse situations, and we need to bring that to light. Emily is sitting right here. It's dark. You're in darkness, Emily.
I am not.
All right. So where's the plate?
I'm too pale to be in the darkness.
No, but when the light's behind you, like
I know, it just creates a shadow.
it just creates a shadow like that. I literally had to flee a state. One of one, like my wife for the longest, even my own family was saying we should flee. But I don't believe that's the answer. I think we need to stand our ground, not just for ourselves, but for all families. Also, because you can't run from the law. You can't run from CPS. They believe that you're guilty if you do. You need to stand and prove them that they're wrong. Prove to them that it was government overreach from the beginning and everything they did was unlawful. That's the only way they're going to let you go is if you sue them in federal court and get them to let you go. We have 6 children and 3-month-old. Kelly tried to take ours. Sarah, you know Kelly? You know that witch, that wicked demon of a human being? She is a Satan spawn. And I believe that she has stolen so many kids in Loudoun County. Every time I see her on the videos and whatnot, and I see her in court, I see someone who has ripped families apart and trafficked their children into foster abuse and gotten bonuses to do it.
And they manipulate children into saying things that
She'll
are
go
not
and
true at
she'll
all.
go and sit down and manipulate children and get them to speak, subvert them to speak ill of their family, manipulate them. This is a demon. This is not a human being.
The school system should change. There should be a warrant or some kind of actual paperwork to go and talk to children, not just
Children. I mean, like, so you have to teach your children. Tell whoever I don't want to speak to you without my parents, or without a lawyer. They have a right. They try to come and build rapport so they can take your kid away.
And they don't. They just go and talk to kids.
Sarah, we need to get in touch with one another. Did Kelly try and take? She's saying that she's shaking because she found us tonight. I don't know why they do this. I want to talk to you more, Sarah.
If we could find some people that have had, especially Kelly, that'd be amazing.
We're not using our child for clicks, Geraldo, Mike. What the hell are you talking about? They stole our child for 5 days. We're showing everyone in the world that our child is happy and healthy and lives in a beautiful home and is happy. It's not for clicks. Yeah. I had no support system in CPS videos. CPS is heartless. Like they do some very, very bad things.
And they were so determined to keep them.
CPS is truly heartless. They are still relentless. I mean, like, they're still coming after Emily. Like, they haven't stopped.
Because now I'm an unfit mother who doesn't protect their kids because I'm not leaving him.
Yeah, so because she won't turn on me, they have decided that she's an easier target to go after than me, right?
They're probably used to women that'll be like, oh, well, I can't have my kids back unless I leave him. Well, I guess I'm choosing my kids and not you.
I mean, like they've had an easier time of turning, and I know that a lot of people watching this now know this to be true. They try and turn families on each other. They'll try and if if they believe one way or another, they'll try and turn a family on each other, and turn them against each other. Um, and when they can't do that, that's when you
They
end up with a
spaz in their pants.
That's when you end up in a situation like what we got. Um, so yeah, every time our doorbell rings, Emily is literally shaking by the sound of it. We're just trying to stay positive, Laws. Appreciate that. Too many children dead who was in Maine CPS.
I'm always watching my back and looking
She's
over my
obviously a
shoulder
good
and staring
mom.
out the window.
She is a great mom. And like, different people have different capacities, like she's not a big talker. She doesn't like to be on camera and to like take up the spotlight. And I'm not, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it because I want to educate Americans. And I've really embraced this role because I think it's important for us to shine a light on ourselves, first of all, because there's safety. You know, when the government comes here and takes your baby away, a breastfeeding infant from its mother, based solely on hearsay allegations against you, when you served honorably, you don't commit crimes, you don't have any findings of abuse or neglect. This is the first time you're seeing this person, and she coming to take your kids away from your house, like literally, like
She wasn't even 6 weeks old.
they wanted to do this to us in the darkness and in silence. They didn't want us to go public about it. Fuck them. All right, you're not going to come here and take my children from me without me standing up and making a loud noise about it because we didn't do anything wrong. We are law abiding American citizens who love our children and live in a healthy home. And you came and kidnapped and trafficked our children for 5 days. We got them back and we've beat them in court twice. But they're relentless and they're going to keep coming and keep coming and keep coming. I have one open case now in a state left because they tried to take my liberties, but it's at least buys me enough time to try to afford a lawyer. So you have found a supportive community 101, and we will definitely help you. We will help you look for a good lawyer in your state. Sarah, we're in Ashburn and would love to meet with you guys. I left our numbers through our email. Emily, I feel like I'm watching myself right now. You see? This
I don't
girl.
want to be on camera.
Emily, this girl over here had her. So Kelly came and took her baby away. Kelly, did they take your child away, Sarah? I want to see what Sarah is saying. How can we find you on Instagram? So Instagram, it's CERTUSVERNA at Instagram. I changed my handle from YouTube to A4FJ, but on Instagram it's CERTUSVERNA on Instagram. Add us on Instagram. We want to know what happened. Did they take your children? Did they have your children right now? Does Kelly have your kids? Sandra. Okay, I gotta go back and read all the things that I missed. I know I missed a lot. There's literally no way a woman can survive or thrive alone with kids. Everyone needs a family. Yeah, so when they try and separate Emily out from me, it's because they want to take my resources and my ability to fight them away from her, and they leave her defenseless. And she understood that, like she's smart enough to know that she needs her man. We're gonna fight Israel versus Ukraine. I mention this. None of my business. Big chill. Just answer the question. I'm not gonna answer that question. I'm not gonna talk about that. Let me see. I'm over here fighting for American family, and we got a lot of trolls on this channel, so I'm gonna have to start kicking trolls out. Um, Try and ignore trolls for the most part, but it's getting annoying. Straight black mom, low income, limited resources, and that's what they go after. They go after people that are low income, limited resources, and can't fight them, can't bring a reckoning to them. And the more you cooperate with them, the more they can demand from you. It's really government intrusion and overreach and tyranny. on the American family. This is treason against the American family, is what I like to call it. It's treason against the American family. There's a card you can amend, put in your kid's backpack, that they are trained to hand to CPS worker, that says, "My parents do not consent to you talking to me," and calling me. Oh, I love that, Amy James. That's a great idea, and I'm going to do that. Thank you so much. That's a good idea. Hey, everybody, listen to what Amy just said. If you have children, put a card on them and put it in their backpack that says, if anybody wants to talk to them, they have to talk to their parents. Whether it's CPS, you want them to contact their parents immediately. It doesn't matter who it is. That they don't want to talk without their parents there. That's a great idea, Amy. My husband and I both left our numbers with you through your website. Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate that. I'm going to get back to you. Matthew, Bernard, this family went through hell because of bullshit accusation. Please don't judge the family unless you know the fact. Thank you, Matthew. I know a lot. We have loyal. I don't want to say fans. I want to say followers. Because what happened to us is not something that you can be a fan of. You may be a fan of the reporting because I'm educating Americans. Because this can happen to you and your family. This can happen to anyone. If it can happen to someone who doesn't have a criminal history or record, who is an American citizen, who served honorably in the Navy and is living in his hometown, then it can happen to any of you. Just through hearsay allegations weaponized against you, people who are shameless can bring allegations that are untrue, that are defamatory, and they open investigations and they take away your children with an affidavit. That's a loophole in the law that needs to be closed. Is a social services employee shouldn't be able to go and get your kids out of your house with an affidavit that they signed themselves. That's the only evidence they got. That's it. No pictures of any abuse, no actual abuse, no sighting of abuse, no hearing of abuse, no one got hit. We just heard that you're a dangerous man. We created a profile, and your profile says that you're a dangerous guy. And so you deserve to have your kids ripped away from you. Like, this is a mental illness in America that needs to be addressed, all right? Men and women have a right to their children. Families have a right to their kids, more than the government. I'm going to be the voice of everyone, one of one. I promise. How can we find you on Instagram? I hope that you can find me on Instagram now. Stand your ground. We did stand our ground, and we will continue to. That's what's important. I'm sorry you guys are going through this. I grew up in a broken system. Mary Jane, I would love to hear your story. If you don't mind, please share your story with me on Instagram or on X, on here. I would like to connect with people who have been damaged by this system of foster abuse, foster network. It's really a hellscape of abuse. From what I've heard, there was a recent 3 days ago, LA County settled a $4 billion lawsuit for survivors of sex abuse in foster homes and juvenile detention facilities. It's sickness. This traffic is happening by CPS, and it's right under our noses. Children are being trafficked out of their loving homes to go into sex slavery, and we're not doing anything about it. You're a veteran too? They don't care about us. Close your garage door if someone could sneak in. That's a true adage. It's so sad. It is. This chicken is ready. Dog won't even move out of my way. Dog's like, you figure it out. Like sleeping on the ground. What's the name of the law? I don't know. And that's hush money. I wonder if those plaintiffs had to sign a non-disclosure order. It is hush money. You're right. Um, I don't speak Spanish, Sergio Mexicano. Sorry about that. But would you believe? Sarah, are you still here by any chance? Um, I want to hear more about Sarah's story. If she's still here, I would definitely want to connect and maybe have a phone call and discuss her situation. You know, this is happening all across America, and my heart breaks for American families that are suffering this level of tyranny and injustice and treason. Ah, let me see. Um, in 2010, my sister had her kid taken away from her by CPS. The father was a lying low life who wanted my sister to pay him child support. I'm sorry to hear about your sister's situation. You know, like CPS has broken so many homes, so many families, and um, it seems like most people have just become a statistic now. You know, and we've become desensitized to all of these crimes they commit, and they can hide their crimes and deny FOIA requests and claim vague child's best interest reasons. And it's a sickness. It's a sickness in America. It needs to be addressed. I'm about to get off live, everybody. I really appreciate you guys joining us and joining us on this journey. I think that as long as we stand together and raise our voices together, that we can really make a difference and stop this crime that's happening on the American people, which is the trafficking of their children, on nothing more than an affidavit from a social services employee. That's too much power for them to abuse. I hope everybody here stands with me, stands with our cause, because it can happen to you, it can happen to your family. And I would appreciate your support because I can't do this by myself. Thank you, everybody. And I hope that you have a great night.